I don't see how that is an intro.
Sometimes the art of no intro is an intro.
I don't think that makes any sense.
And sometimes I just make things up. So,
welcome.
Hey.
Welcome to Sony After Hours Support. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
That's Larry.
Okay. Hi, I'm Larry. And Big Phil, no, I was not the late one today.
It's true. I'm Derek, by the way.
Yeah.
Because he didn't introduce me.
Well, that's okay.
So just a very quick recap. If you are joining us for the first time, welcome. Welcome, of course, to all the people that we've seen before. A lot of great names in there. We'll talk about in a moment. But if it is your first time here, thank you for joining us. And what is the purpose? What are we doing here, ultimately? A lot, yes. We're going to talk about things that are Sony related, of course. If you have any questions and need some support on something, let us know. We may or may not know the answer because sometimes there are some technical things that go beyond what we do, but ultimately...
Don't worry about me.
Oh, man.
Don't worry about me.
Ultimately, we are here to listen and share the feedback with the Sony group and the appropriate people to get some answers for you, or even to share some insights and feedback and wishes and wants and all that good stuff. So go ahead and throw anything you'd like in the comment that is appropriate to be here. So just quick shout out to everybody that's here. Fake Ninjutsu beat Michael Beckerman to the first question, so
that
well
alone gets a major shout out.
Yes, and
that's hard to do.
Michael as well. Malcolm's here. Big Phil is back. Ronan's back. Fraser's back. I love it. Thank you guys.
The crew.
Love to see you guys. Yes. So that said, let's jump in.
Let's jump in.
Jump in. So Fake Ninjutsu, we'll get to your questions to start.
And this is a great question to start with.
It is a good question.
I like it.
So I'll read it and you'll answer it.
Okay, sure.
So we'll kind of see how this plays out. All right.
Yeah.
So why has Sony never addressed the overly aggressive dimming with sports/video game HUDs that has plagued their OLEDs forever? Other brands don't have this problem with the same panel tech.
Yep.
And then, of course, it's a number one reason that some people may decide to not go with Sony OLED.
Yep. It's a good question. I was super bold at first. Before we went live, I'm like, oh, this is what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
And then I can't say it.
Well, so to be fair, I want to sort of set, I don't want to say a tone.
Okay.
But one of the challenges that we face, I don't want to say a challenge because it sounds like it's a problem.
Yeah.
It's not. I understand the purpose. Right. Larry and I are like, there's this massive totem pole and we're trying to jump onto it. We're not that important.
Pushed off twice already.
In the grand scheme of things. But that's part of why we're trying to do this kind of grassroots kind of, let's start to see what we can do by really interacting with all of our fans and customers to get this insight and these concerns so that we can compile it, share it with the people who we know who have more influence.
Yep.
There are certain things that we are not privy to. And there are some things that are company secrets that they cannot share, especially can't go into the details because honestly, I don't have those details.
Right.
So we can only really speculate on this.
Yes.
Really, I wish we could just say directly, and I know that it is like, why hasn't they directly addressed it? And here we are, not directly addressing it. But ultimately, that kind of comes from people upstairs there.
Can I break a conversational rule of etiquette? You're not supposed to answer a question with another question.
Yeah, that's fair. I think. Yeah. Perspective. I
think, and I'm glad you said that a lot of what we do is speculating based upon kind of what we know. The two ways I look at this is this way. Is Sony capable of not dimming or doing any of those things? I think the answer would be overwhelmingly yes. So the follow-up question at that point is, why do we make this conscious decision to do this or that? And then you can go a step further. Then you could say, is there something in this, especially when you're talking about static images with heads-up displays or stuff like that, that could accelerate image retention or burn-in on an OLED? Okay, maybe we're making that decision because our primary objective is to increase the longevity or the life of your product. Obviously, I'm pretty sure there's internal data points that talks about reportings of image retention across all brands, right? And I can't speak to that. I would be curious where others stack up versus where I feel I remember we are. in that space. But I have to think that first and foremost, we're trying to protect the hardware, protect your ownership and investment in the product, and sometimes we make those choices purposefully. That's my speculation.
Yeah,
of it.
Yeah, it is one of those things that I do wish I had all of these answers, and that we could just be like, hey, look, here's the deal, here's the answer, because X, Y, and Z. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's not that simple as much as I'm a consumer as well, and I get it from the perspective. That's kind of why we're here. I know I kept saying that one while you were there.
Well, he did the right thing because he saw me adjust, and he was trying to protect me from an embarrassing moment. John, I appreciate
someday,
that. Thank you, bro.
I'll understand what I'm doing. This is true. Yes.
That's true.
But that said, I mean, I know that's not a great answer, but obviously, as we continue to try to build some more of these relationships within and try to show value in these more direct communication pieces, maybe we can start to get some more of that. But I don't know. That goes beyond me. But that said, we got a couple more people in here. FOMO's in here. Like these handsome guys trying not to leak 2025 TAVs. Nope, we got no TAVs to talk about. But I think you might actually be, I'm looking at the wrong one again.
It's okay.
You might actually be watching your own with Brian. If you're calling handsome fellas. So.
Yeah, for real. And I got to give FOMO a shout out.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's so dope that, because he definitely has the industry's ear. And I know we're not supposed to show favoritism to whatever, but FOMO dude, I appreciate at least you opening up the lines of communication to your subscribers and viewers, inviting them to come spend time with Derek and I to ask some of those tough questions and things of that nature. So, keep sending people over to us or whatever. It's not your endorsement of Sony. It's just creating that line of dialogue for your subscribers, your fans to come hang out with us. And I appreciate that, brother.
And yes, there may have been some Sony people watching one of your recent live streams.
Maybe.
This guy. That's it. Yeah, no, it is good stuff. And I love like there are a lot of creators out there, and if we could get more in touch with a lot of them, they're welcome to be here and ask the challenging questions, like Will Tech does, because I saw you in there, those challenging questions, which is great because these are questions that people want to know. So we'll do our best to answer the best that we can, of course. So and I saw Joey B is in the house as well.
What's up, bro? There he is. Man, we got all the peeps in the building.
All the peeps are here. All right, let's see. What's our next question?
There's a couple of them up top.
Yeah, just to comment this one. Michael Backburn said, I saw this week that Sony was named one of the most ethical companies in the world again for like the 7th year in a row. Congrats. I mean, it's not us, but we are proud to be here and be a part of that. So.
I think it's a part of why we're here, though.
Yeah.
I mean, why we chose Sony as a place of employment. It has a lot to do with our core values and principles. So
yes.
Great place to work. We've won that a bunch of times also.
Yes.
But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, happy to be here for sure.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of why we don't say the things that we can't say, because we may not be here the next day. So we do like our job.
We like pushing the limit, though, just a little bit.
Yeah. Michael Perkins also asked, did they say there was going to be a surprise guest on the show? Well, we said maybe.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Yeah.
With my special guest, Larry. And John.
Plot twist. It was me.
Plot twist. There you go.
Yeah.
And I think you're supposed to hear him, supposedly. So you have to let us know if you can actually hear him.
I actually have my mic on today.
There you go. That's good. That's good. All right, let's see. So I'm just go.
Yes, John. Sorry, I was answering
too
a question from John. Anyway.
We got John. We got to get some contact to some special people that want some stuff.
Yes.
That is a work in progress. So yes.
Yeah.
There we go.
And we did have special guests lined up. To be honest, we did. But there's been a ton going on recently. And at the last minute, there was a schedule change. So it's not like, that's why we weren't 100% certain that we could have somebody. But that's okay. Next time.
Yeah.
We'll have somebody next time.
Frazier, thanks for being here. No comment beyond that at this point in time.
Ask?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Oh.
Let's see. Malcolm says, what kind of tech does Sony offer to blind or near blind folks? My neighbor is legally blind and can barely see anything. C is also a long time. There's also a long-time Sony fan and has some really nice older stuff. But
are we talking what category are we talking about? Because accessibility, we are all over that.
There is. And
he
I know,
almost quoted what I read yesterday, which was crazy to me.
What?
He says TV in the follow-up comment.
Okay, TV in the follow-up comment.
Okay.
It's very interesting because I was examining the ports on the backs of our TVs.
Yes.
And on the eARC port, specifically on the back of our TV, it has a tactile dot, right? And I was like, why do we have a tactile dot on the back of the TV? So of course, start researching, and it's like for the either legally blind or people that have difficulty with vision or whatever. It's to identify where to connect their sound system because the lettering we know is super tiny back there and it's not a lot of space, or the case may be. So that's one thing. We also have color inversion technology on our screens that also on our televisions that also aid in that.
Yep. There's a high contrast
as
well.
Talkback, you can have it to where the menus or anything that pops up on screen reads off directly. There's tons of accessibility features. We should do a special one.
We've been talking about doing a video on it,
on just all accessibility
stuff. So that is definitely something that we need to work on, and that kind of adds more value into us doing that sooner rather than later. So
well, in the Theater U, because I know you always bring that up, because when I talk about Theater U, I always think about like late night viewing, baby sleep, whatever the case may be. But you always step in and remind me that also there are situations where one member in the household may be, they may have mild to moderate hearing loss. And so the Theater U allows them to have their independent volume control on the newer TVs that have multi-audio output, and they can raise the volume to a suitable level for them. So that's kind of the cool thing about it all.
Somebody's joining us?
Yeah.
Hear the door open? So the other thing I want to mention too, on that point, I'm just going to say this in general. When it comes to hearing, especially with accessibility, we do have hearing aids. I'm not going to plug that necessarily right now, but if you have not gotten your hearing checked, might be a good idea to do that. That's actually something I've been like, I think I need to. I'm at that age now actually do that where I need to. When I first read that, when you started sharing material with me, and it's like, 20%. I know I'm probably making up this percentage, but there was a shockingly high percentage of individuals over the age of 14 that are already experiencing mild to moderate hearing loss. And when you go through that your entire life, it becomes normal. Yeah. Until you get it checked. So I need to get that done. Yeah. So there is a lot there, but also just to throw this out there too, we do have the email that is pinned in the comments. So if there are specific questions, maybe we can get a little bit more information specifically to help her get the information that she needs if she's looking to get a new TV. But whatever you need, let us know and we'll do our best to help out. Consultation? They'll plug the one-on-one consultation for the. Oh, gosh, look at that handsome guy. He's hi, like baby face Derek, little baby over there. But yeah, we do offer a free one-on-one consultation. This is open to anyone in the U.S. that is looking to get a little bit more of a back and forth dialogue. Because even here, somebody might have a question about, ooh, should I get this or should I get that? Yep. And we can just make a blanket statement, get the better one. That's not really how we roll. We want to make sure that what we recommend is the best fit for your needs. Yes. And sometimes that takes a lot of back and forth and understanding the situation, your personal preferences. So if you do have something that you're kind of wondering, what audio solution do I get? What TV solution do I get? What camera lens do I get? Whatever that is available to you as well. Spend 30 minutes and get some good info. Yep. Good stuff. All right. Ronan had a good question though too. I had a client love his theater quad, but he asked recently, why isn't there a way to do multi-stereo like the receivers? I got you. I was going to say, I don't know if I have a reason for it. Our engineering of things like the quad and everything has been, how do you create a spatial audio experience using like not the traditional channel-based tower speakers that an AVR provides, right? Like so when you think about the quad, even when you think about just rears attached to the bar, it's about how do you deliver that location or channel-based audio, that component audio setup without having that setup. That's been the concentration. Yeah, it's shifting it from channel-based to object-based. Object-based, thank you. Yeah. Yes. That's been our focus. But
this comment has come up a lot, and I'm probably going to get in trouble by saying this. I know that we're looking into it. I don't know what that means in the future. I have no idea what it means for the quad. But the cool thing is enough people have brought it up that
It has come up a couple
engineering is aware of it.
Michael Beckerman.
Product teams are aware of it.
We talked about it.
And when we say that they're aware of it, we're not saying that it's currently in development and things are going to happen. Like, that's not what we're saying. What we're saying is that it's on the list of these things that consumers are looking for, and we want to always be able to address that where we can. So,
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I think it'd be cool to see it on the quad, but I think to your point, like it wasn't. I don't know. I don't want to say it wasn't developed for that, but it was developed for spatial audio. So
the thing from an engineering, from a product inception perspective, I still think we lead with cinematic audio expression before like music and stereo. And again, speculating, going back to that, I think we focus so much time trying to develop that perfect cinematic experience, that movie experience, that it becomes secondary. I had an engineer once tell me, that's easy. What we're doing is complicated. Like it was so cool. Just I mean, he wasn't saying that kind of dismissing it because he understood the importance of it. But he's like, dude, what we're accomplishing is incredible. Like, why are you not, geeked up over that? But anyway, so sorry.
I'm just going to make a comment here just to kind of blanket cover a couple of comments that have come up. Lots of interesting speculation on 2025. That's all I'm going to say on that. But Malcolm says,
let's read comments.
This image looks triple fire, John. What are you running tonight, and what do you use to upload to live?
Let's go, John.
What picture profile are you using?
What is all your goods?
John?
All right, of course, we have our beloved FX3s.
We have
3 of them. This is the new 28 to 70 f2. 48 cam.
That's on A? Okay.
Yep, and then our beautiful B cams over here are the 85 G Masters.
There you go.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, no picture profile.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
10-bit 422.
Straight out of the camera.
Yep.
With all the
Helps
YouTube
with
compression.
Lighting control, obviously, and John knows his stuff when it comes to balancing that out. So.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
I get lucky.
All right.
It's still.
Malcolm says hi, by the way. To you, John. Fake Ninjutsu, I would be okay with them giving us the option to disable the dimming deep in the menu and giving us all the warnings to scare most away. I just leave it. Yeah. You know what? So I'm with you, but I also understand the other side of it. There are, how do I want to phrase this? There is a lot of different types of people in the world. Great people to the not so great people. And the downside is that could open up to, I got issues with my TV. Well, if I mess with this, I can say, oh, well, I didn't know. I wasn't warned. And it can cause these, how much legal disclaimers do you need to sign something that you understood this? So it's a muddy area. But again, this is where we run into that interesting thing where, clearly you seem to have quite a bit of information. I know Will dives into those deep questions. FOMO clearly understands the deep tech of the TVs. And many of the other folks that are here, you are probably the people that are like, yeah, I would do it. I would do it to make it, understanding what the risks are and to make it the picture that I want it to be. And that would be great to do. But you guys are more the minority, unfortunately, in the grand scheme of things. And that does make it, I think, in my perception, could make it a little bit more challenging. I don't know if you have thoughts on that. I just kind of rambled out of that.
No, you nailed it. I like when you ramble because you pretty much touch all the points. It's good. You're good.
Okay. All right, trying to catch up. Oh, let's see. Oh, FOMO went to go eat dinner. Okay, goodbye.
We're not going to avoid the RGB questions.
Vedant is here.
We're not avoiding.
I haven't gotten
I know, I'm
that.
just making sure.
Man, I'm just avoiding the 2025 ones.
Let's just go ahead and address them.
Yeah,
maybe some legal disclaimers.
Let's catch up to where we are.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Vedant is back. Welcome back. Good
What's
to
up?
see you. It's been a while as well, so happy to see you here. With the question. All right, let's see. Is it okay to place the subwoofer next to the couch at the left? SW5 sounds good there, but feels like right side is lacking. Been waiting too long for new subwoofer from Sony. Do you want to take this one? I can, because I know I ramble a lot. But
no, you don't. I want to know what the bar is also. Well, I'm assuming
that's a factor, for sure. But I think even discounting that, the sub placement is a factor.
Here's the deal. Yeah, I think you can. Yes, you can place the subwoofer technically wherever you want to. I say technically because the reflection of sound waves, angle that it's placed, all of those things come into a factor when you're trying to tune, especially with low frequency. Obviously, sound field optimization and 360 SSM is supposed to account for placing the sub. I hate to say give it a try because there's so many factors when you're talking about sound quality in a space in a room. Dimensions of the room, ceiling height, furniture that may be, absorbing whatever. It's so many things. We were in LA and we watched them put like a hacky sack or a little bag of beans in the corner and it changed the entire audio experience in the room. It's like wild what you can do with audio. But yeah, I would say do it. Rerun your audio calibration, assuming that you've done that, and give it a test. I'm an odd number. I know people laugh at me when I say this. I'm an odd number inch off the wall, left and right, when I place mine in a corner. I'm usually 3 inches off the back wall and 5 inches off a side wall where I place my sub. Someone told me that odd worked better than even, so just shows you how gullible I can be. I believe it, so that's what I do. But anyway, there you go.
Yeah, I'll add a little bit to that too. Sort of thinking from like the science and physics side of it is depending on like what you mean to the left of it. Like, is it directly to the left of the couch? Now you did clarify in there too. A95L theater quad, so just add that in there for context. If it's directly to the left, you will get. Let me see. Was it? Hang on. Let me just make sure I read this correctly. Well, where'd you go?
For the SW5,
is
it on screen? Still on screen.
Yes. So okay, got it. So I see it. Yeah. So if it's on the left and actually like if this is the edge of the couch and the subwoofer is here and you're sat on the couch, then you are going to it's going to absorb, the soft materials will absorb a lot of that the frequencies. Hard surfaces will let them bounce and radiate around a space, which is why if you typically put a sub more in a corner, it can really resonate around because it reflects in different ways. However, that can cause like hot spots and you can get bass traps and this whole ordeal if you really want to really calibrate. Ideally, if you do have a sub really far to any side, a second is better. I know it's not optional in some cases though, to balance it out. But typically if you can get it more in the front, semi-centered, that will help fill the space more naturally. To your point, when it comes to 360 spatial sound mapping, it will map and adjust to the best of its ability. But there's a caveat, if like I put a subwoofer behind my couch and underneath it, it'll account for that, but it's not going to make it sound better. It won't fix the problem because of the limitations. But ultimately, to your point of you can, as long as you want to put the time in, you can easily, and the power outlets, move it around and kind of run the calibration because it's quick and kind of see.
Don't worry about me.
Okay, and kind of see what works the best for you. But
even playing with angles though, right?
Yeah.
Just kind of, even if it's next to the couch, just kind of start trying to. You see what I'm saying?
It
could, but may not, right?
I don't think it will so much with that one of the SW5.
The 5 is downward facing.
Facing.
So yeah, that's
woofer,
it. You know what
so
it is?
It would just kind of radiates out.
So this is me with my CSs. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that one makes a difference.
Sorry.
I will add this though. If you want to send us, I've had people do this in the past. It's not to say you have to, but if you want to like make a drawing, I had somebody draw out a diagram of the room and write where they had their quads and the spacing, trying to get some advice as to where they should place different things. Feel free to do that and send us an email, and we'll get you some insight on that. So.
Facts.
Right, great question though. Let's see. People love having the option doing multi-channel stereo. I know we're kind of like behind in some of the comments. Michael Beckman, I was thinking of you as soon as that one came up because I know you brought that up a long time ago. So yeah. Let's see. It comes down to flexibility. Customers love options. Absolutely. Okay.
It's an interesting concept.
What? Say what you saw because I'm still.
Big Phil's comment. He said it would be cool if you could run the HTA9 or quad speakers, except use a Sony receiver as the hub. So instead of the control box,
Ooh,
so have
interesting.
the software built into an AVR.
Yeah.
You buy the system, but if you already have an AVR, the AVR can be coded to control the quads.
I mean,
That's email worthy.
that is.
I mean, it's a dope concept.
Because with the newer ones, you can use the wireless rears and the subs.
Yeah.
Possibly?
That would be
I don't
dope.
know what the limitation is on any of that,
I don't
but
know.
that would be very interesting.
I mean, listen.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Okay.
Because now that I'm kind of thinking about that, and
All right.
again, I'm going to make this very apparent. I do not know of anything. This is literally just popped into my tiny little noodle in my head here.
Okay.
Like a component quad concept.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you can buy another one to have X amount to.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same.
Yeah. That'd be neat.
I think what's this, Big Phil, you've opened up a broader thing. Okay.
Yeah.
This is
Do we need to throw disclaimers on?
no, not at all. Not at all. I'm going full send on this one because here's the thing. What's interesting about it is we've created this innovative bridge product, right? So the HT89 and the quad represented a system that has never been done before, something that bridges the gap between a traditional soundbar and an AVR. The difference between those two audio devices, it's this massive, like it's Grand Canyon wide, right? And so the quad fits right in. But so since we have that market, maybe we should look at expanding or figuring out. Like I think it was Michael Beckerman before that's like, or someone, maybe it was Will. Are you guys going to create a mini quad setup, right? Like,
yes.
It's like
I
all
remember
these
that.
different.
Michael Beckerman just put it in the comments.
Oh, he did. Okay. Everybody has talked about
Baby quads, yeah.
these different versions of the quad that we could expand. What if the quad became the new soundbar? Like, you have all these tier levels of soundbars, and now there's 3 levels of quad. Right?
Maybe.
That reaction.
I saw it switch. I was like, I don't know.
I mean, okay.
That would be pretty awesome.
We have people in the build. We know someone in the building that is on, like, I'm gonna make up a title. That's on the product innovation team. That should be a title. Somebody has that title. If not, they do now. Okay.
You just gave it to somebody, and I
At
don't
the
even
very
know
least,
who
it's
it
a
is.
job description. I don't want to say names.
Well, that's fine. You don't. Yeah.
But I know that's who we should pass along this information. It'd be very interesting for them. All right.
This is something I don't know if you can try this out. I don't know. Vedant also added. Also, I've noticed that if you use iPhone for theater quad optimization, it always sounds better than using a flagship Android device with BRAVIA Connect app.
Shame on you. I'll see.
What?
I'll try.
That's not what I expected as a reaction to that.
What's interesting is everything I've heard
Yeah.
in the early days of the app. Let me not talk
Okay.
about now. In early days of the app, it was like, it doesn't work on the iPhone. It doesn't work the same on the iPhone. And, all these issues. And it's like, well, it works fine on my flagship Android device.
I have no idea. That's something I'm really curious about, but I don't have a way to check. So Larry's gonna have to do that.
Yep, I'll test it out.
There you go.
I'll steal my wife's phone while she's sleeping.
There you go. All right, let's see. Michael
Words.
Beckerman
There it is.
made a comment about a movie being shot on Sony Venice, and it looks amazing.
Yes, it does.
It will, yeah. And a lot of those things similar to some other movies that are.
I just forget what we can say and can't say.
I know. I just
about last year, so you just go by it.
I just go by it and just, yeah. But
These are the things I want to say.
it is one of those things that is just a shout out to like the development team around the IS products, especially Venice.
Yes.
A lot of the shots that are in some of these movies that I can't say the name of, like, would not be possible
Right.
if we didn't decide to say, "Oh, Mr. Director, what do you want to do?
Yes.
Oh, you want to break these apart so you can cram this incredible piece of imaging equipment into a tiny space?
Yeah.
You got it."
You know what's really cool?
And they did it.
When these big name directors are like, do you know what I want in the production truck to be able to watch this content? BRAVIA 9, baby.
BRAVIA 9, yes.
BRAVIA 9.
Yep.
So
Yep.
anyway,
That's
we
very
can't-
true.
Say PDT,
And I will add, I can't say the name of the person, but
Yeah.
we were at an event. I was at an event. Sorry, and we talked to. some
Let's
color.
counter.
We talked to some colorists, and well, one in particular, and he mentioned that the A95L is his standard one that he uses for color.
You know, that's what's
prep.
interesting.
Thank you.
No,
Carrying on.
this is. I'm like over the disclaimers. This is what's interesting.
I'm so tempted to show it.
Nah, we're okay. What's so interesting to me, what you guys have to understand is when you work for Sony, our Sony group at large works with so many major companies and studios and production teams and DPs and directors and everyone else. If we could share and disclose all that information,
That'd be awesome.
we would be able to drop that blanket statement that says we are the choice of the industry. But because a lot of these relationships are organically driven in just people that want the best execution while they're working on their content, or these big studios that own these streaming platforms want all of their stuff to be this, we're not able to share those things. And it sucks, to be honest, because I mean, I see the comments online and I hear the comparisons and all those things, and in my mind it's like, dude, if you only knew.
Yeah.
So sometimes our passion that you get from Derek and I, it's sometimes, and I always laugh when Derek talks about how low we are on the total pole. We are still very fortunate to have access to tons of information.
Yes.
We don't make decisions, but we do have access to information in a lot of cases. But that information, just like, God, I wish the world knew this.
Yeah,
Anyway.
and I think a lot of that attributes to they know what we do, and they know that we're talking to you and getting some insights. So that has kind of built up, some more of these relationships. But that's where we want to keep this going. So I'm just going to briefly plug the whole thing of liking and subscribing, and sharing too. If you know some people that are just interested or just want to kind of talk about this stuff, get some insight. But at the very least, invite them over to say, hey, just to throw this out there too. I just had it. Oh yeah, Will Tech, perfect example. Brought this up. Well, I lost it. There it is. After firmware updates, home screen looks extra soft and not as crisp as before. Can you ask the engineers to look into that? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. So I have a lot of things to compile to share from some emails that were really detailed, which is good, but it's a lot to put together. But yes, it will be shared.
We'll talk offline about that.
Okay. About what?
About that.
Okay. Got it.
Never mind.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know you
I
will.
just saw Baby Quads right above that with Michael Beckerman.
Look, the names that I'm seeing, I mean, they are so dope.
Yep.
I'm loving the names. JustFrazier just nailed it. Quad,
Yes.
Quad Extreme, Quad Ultimate, Quad Pro.
I mean, it's kind of in line too, actually.
Gluten-free quad.
Quad XR.
Quad
Quad
XR.
XR.
Yes.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
But yeah, Will, to answer your question, I did, but just to be clear, yes, absolutely, we will find out some stuff on that, and I know that you'll be back for an answer. So we'll see what we can do if there is an answer. Otherwise, worst case, Global South is back.
Building.
Yes, welcome back.
Hi, dude. What's up?
It's been a while.
Welcome back.
Let's see. Whoa. I just got a whole bunch of things that just loaded in here. All right, let's see. A lot of great ideas like, what if you did this and extra subs and all that stuff. I love that talk. That's so good. Let's see. BRAVIA Connect app is great, but it has a couple of bugs. Like usually the TV and quad are grouped on same screen, but at least a couple of times it will get separated and the trackpad is slow too.
Are you looking to separate them? There's a way to do it. So, I wish I could remember, and because I'm not at home, I can't do it. If you're looking for a way to easily separate it, don't do like I do. When you go into the grouped icon, there's a notification that pops up at the top that says, if you would like to control an individual unit, it's like press and hold this button or something. And then a window scrolls up from the bottom and it will ask you, like at home, it'll say control BRAVIA 9 or control quad. It will allow you to separate them. Is that the most intuitive way of doing it? I don't know. But the option is there, and there's a notification that pops up. We should do something on that.
Let's do it. Let's support the people.
Let's do that.
Okay.
I love the
You
Connect
gotta do
app.
it.
I'm telling you, I'll do it. Yeah,
I can't do it.
I am
so.
legit the poster child of BRAVIA Connect. That's my thing.
Yes.
So yes, let's do it.
Awesome.
Yeah, okay.
Cool. This is you know what I need? This is what we need for next time.
Okay.
We need somebody to take notes for the follow-ups, so it's easier versus going back in and
Watching it.
I'll
watch it again.
I know you will.
I have to do
I can't watch myself.
I hate watching it, but I have to do I'll try to do the chapter markers.
There you go. That'd be good. Cool. So I'm just gonna call this out. I think Global South just needed a break to come back and just do the ultimate flex.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just returned from a business trip to Tokyo. That's awesome in itself.
Is so dope.
While there, I went to the Sony Ginza Park building. It was awesome. I bet it was. And checked out the Afila One on the roof and ate lunch at the Sony restaurant in the basement. The experience in the various floors were very cool. 100% open to the public. I think Michael Beckerman, you were asking about that, I think, last time. Asking about going and what's the... I did not know that. Yep. So that's awesome.
Yep.
That is awesome. Congratulations on that, and I hope you had fun and everything else, and got away from work and enjoyed that. That's super cool.
Absolutely, dude. And thanks for coming back and hanging out with us.
And next time, bring us with you.
Yep. Brett Nelson has a question. Did we see that?
I'm working my way down. Wait, where's?
I think it's up.
It's up.
Yep.
I apologize.
It's okay. Brett Nelson. Hey team, I've got a BRAVIA 9, and I'm getting loud audio popping when I pause a video when using native apps on the TV. Using eARC to another receiver. I have the BRAVIA 9. I don't have mine connected to an AVR. Mine is connected to the quad. I do not get a popping noise at all.
Here's a couple things to consider, to try. Yeah. Because ultimately we need to figure out where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Obviously, you always start with just checking the seating of your cables. Make sure they're connected. You may want to try a new cable just to see if that's the case. You may not be, but again, just to eliminate the possibilities. You could also do a soft reset of the TV just to see if that works. It's holding down the power button. It says restart, let it restart. There may be a way to do some sort of reset on the receiver as well, but unfortunately I don't have the information on that.
Firmware updates on both products.
Firmware updates on both products, yes, absolutely. He said it was just on native apps, I believe. The question then would be is it many different ones? Or
because I'm assuming that you have some HDMI connected devices into the receiver that it's just sending video signal up. And if you're not experiencing it then, it sounds like somewhere in the eARC relationship between those two products, maybe if it's just built-in apps. If it's all of the built-in apps that you're using, then there's something in it. So I like your recommendation on HDMI cable, making sure that they're properly seated and all those things. So I think
that's a good place to start. But I would say this though too, and this goes out to everybody. And I know I've brought this up a couple of times. If you are having issues, and I don't know for sure if any of that is going to make a difference, I hope it does, and it's just that simple. That would be great. Yep. If not, make sure you call Sony support and put in a ticket.
Yes.
At least so there is record of that.
Yep.
While we're talking about having a record of,
you beat me to it.
It just kind of led to this path.
Yeah.
Registering products.
Yes, please.
Here's why I think it's most important. This is the kind of the big takeaway for me, because I've never really been somebody to do it, but I did register a lens that I just recently got. That was a bit of an investment. I don't even use that much right now. I need to do that because I feel I made a bad choice for spending that much money right away. Anyway,
did you?
Yes. That said, I registered it, which is really easy to do, but I am terrible at keeping receipts and stuff like that. But now I know that I do have an option for additional coverage on that particular product. It's on certain ones. But if I do have an issue, I can just call and they can pull up all the info.
Yeah.
Even if in the case I need an insurance claim, the record of the serial number is there in the date of purchase and all that stuff. So that's what I think is really cool. But if you do ever need service on something, the info's there.
Yeah.
Versus, can you get me your serial number? Oh man, how do I find it? Where is it? I need a proof of purchase. Just upload your receipt, get it done. Oh gosh. I never waste money. I know. Well, to me it is when it just sits there and I really want to. I really want to use it, but at least the weather's getting a little better, so maybe I can soon.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, you're good.
So.
There's a bunch of questions I want to answer.
Well, there's one that you... I'm not going to call you out. Dan L. All right? Dan L.
I think I saw that.
Is there... Yeah, it was right above
I see.
Brett's question. Is there a reason why Sony does not use a center pedestal stand for the flagship TVs? Please put in a good word. We can definitely share the sentiment. Absolutely 100% we can share that. That there is...
What TVs have center stand mode in the four position stands? Like
so
well,
that's right. So that's new, right? So one of the newer features this year, if you're not aware,
this year meaning 2024. I got you. Yeah, this past
right.
year.
Yeah. 2024, because I don't know about the new ones with that anyway.
I don't want somebody to clip that.
That's fair. That's fair. So 2024 still are the newest ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, we introduced the four-way position, so you actually can have the narrow position in either like the flat side, low, and then the soundbar position as well. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but does that solve the issue, or do you prefer a larger, bigger center pedestal? Which again, some people have a lot of very different preferences on what they want for design.
Yep.
So I think that's being that was the new addition last year, that sort of fits that need for certain TVs. So
in its comments like that led to that.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
So I appreciate the comment, Dave.
Absolutely. Yep, but we could definitely share that for sure. Ranieri says, how are you? Hey, we're good. How are you?
What's up? Hey, if you guys are camera enthusiasts, Ranieri has a live stream show called In Focus that he does. Is it monthly now? Twice a month? How frequently does he do it?
I mean, he's busy, but it's monthly.
Usually the first week of the month.
First of all, this dude has got camera knowledge beyond your belief, but his energy level, I need all of what he's drinking every day. Because Ranieri will get you hyped.
Yes.
So I love that dude. So yeah, shout out to Ranieri in Focus. That's an incredible show. You guys gotta check it out.
Let's see. Brett added in that the popping doesn't happen when using NVIDIA's thing.
That's okay.
With audio through the TV or connected directly to the AVR. And that is even so. Again, I want to think of this too.
Okay.
You may want to consider: is it the port on the AVR, right? Because if it's pulling in through a separate HDMI and the receiver's processing the audio directly, but maybe it is the ARC port potentially on the AVR.
Could be.
So here's another thing that I thought that you could try. If you have that separate device, HDMI into the TV, change that input, play through there, and see if it happens through that, because then that might lead to believe it could be something with a port.
Yep.
Just thinking about that one.
Yep.
Okay.
This is a great show. I love these questions. These are good questions. These are great questions, actually.
Value Electronics has joined us. Hello, everyone. I enjoy and learn a lot watching all of your video presentations. Thank you. Well, thank you for being here. That's awesome. We're happy to support everybody. That's so cool. Thanks for being here. I love it. And you're welcome to ask questions, but I'm sure you have contacts anyway.
More answers than
Are you
us.
kidding me?
Yeah, you might know more than us. Yeah. Let's see. What else we got? Are we kind of caught up right now? Oh boy, there it is.
No, we're not caught
We'll just put in a question,
No, we're not
so
caught
we're not caught up. Did you see any other ones, or otherwise I'll get to Will's here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, all right. Let's see. I haven't fully read it, but I see some interesting stuff here. Sony high-end TVs can do 91% of the Rec 2020 color space. Impressive and better than competitors. Does Sony actively try to increase that in new TVs? No change in 2026 model, or are they happy to leave it? So I'm assuming you're meaning, are we trying to increase the percentage? I can't speak on behalf of what their intentions are. Based on what I know of what Sony's intentions are in terms of why they develop what they do, it is all around accuracy and creator's intent. And the closer they can get to real life, which what we see is beyond Rec 2020, they're going to pursue it for sure. Obviously, the challenges always come into technology, but understanding that they have stuff that sometimes is in development for years because of the concept of, ooh, this upcoming thing, maybe we could do that and we could expand on this. they're always looking at it at the very least. So I have 100% belief and faith that that's their intention, is to constantly increase that. But sometimes there's technical challenges, or in some case, and I know this is one of those things that those of us who look forward to CES, and it's like, whoa, did you see this amazing thing? I will never afford it, but it's amazing, which is cool. But I like to think of like, okay, well, what do I actually get to enjoy the way I want to? Right. When will this TV tech be in my house so I can watch what I want?
Right.
But
yeah, I think another, if I can add something to that.
Nope.
Because that's what you normally.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll allow it this time. Carry on.
Thank you. Okay. I'm just gonna shamelessly plug our engineers and what we focus on. You hear a lot of conversations about TV's performances, but if you really go like watch those scenes, it's always calibrated. After calibration, you achieve this. After calibration, you achieve that.
Right.
I don't think it's said enough what our pre-calibration performance is compared to the field. Like out of the box, we are trying to deliver creators' intent with the highest maximum performance. Right. Not saying that we just put it together. I'm not saying this is everyone else's philosophy. I just want to be careful, but like we did it. We put it together, and yeah, sure, it's capable of doing all these things, but here you go. We don't want to spend any time and effort. We genuinely know the behavior of most TV customers is they open it up, plug it in, set it up. Hopefully they register it, and done. Picture quality, what it is.
Yeah, yeah, so. And that's where like I'm kind of curious if you want to let me know in the comments. Did you have your TV calibrated, or I'm sure there are some people. Did you calibrate your TV? Because I'm sure there are some people that probably just did it themselves.
It sounds like you guys are suggesting to maybe potential viewers that publicly compare TVs to maybe do an uncalibrated comparison.
There's a publication that does.
They may or may not be in the chat. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true.
Robert, do you want to chime in and talk about the results of the out-of-box experience from King of TV's competition 2024?
Wow.
That's why I love Robert. I'm sorry. I had to do it. I love Robert. Robert's so amazing. Robert,
On that note, diverting immediately. No.
Legal call.
But that is one of the things that I do love about the direction of what they're doing, and I know that standard mode has continually been getting more accurate over time because so many people that's just what they leave it on, and many times they don't even know they can change it or care. And I know that the crowd here, probably 90% of you are like, no way, custom, professional, I'm gonna calibrate this, whatever, change this. And I love that, but the bell curve, the top of those people is really going to be a lot of those people that just like, TV turns on, it looks good to me.
I'm trying to see if I'm going to get fired for saying this.
Well, doing it is not a great way to find out, because what's going to happen? You're either going to get fired or you're not.
I always forget what there's information that we learned a few weeks ago. John, try to figure out what I'm saying. That we learned a few weeks ago. I'm like, how come no one knows this? Why don't we talk about this? John, it deals with picture modes and partnerships and collaborations in picture modes. Do you remember that?
Yes, I think we were sitting over there.
Yes. Can I say that? I don't remember if that was... Aren't we going to do a video about that? We are going to do a video about that.
I think so.
Your think does not give me confidence to say it. I'm going to say it.
I'm not going to lie. I'm not very confident. But yeah.
I was just going to say it until you just said that. You're like,
I don't know what it is, so I'm...
Here's... Just on the topic of...
I cannot handle the workload if what you do, I have to do. So just keep that in mind, please.
On the conversation of picture modes and focusing on trying to deliver an experience and using expertise and all these things, right? Did you know...
Oh.
Wow. I was ready.
I'm actually shocked, but good shot. Our photo and video presets on our BRAVIA televisions are actually done in conjunction with the Alpha team.
Photo preset.
Photo presets.
Oh, yes. I have heard that.
Am I able to say that?
I don't know.
Cat's out of the bag.
I've heard that.
Right now.
But
Yeah, it's interesting. So, and then I'm saying that to say this, right? That we understand that our TVs are more than just hubs of entertainment, right? There are tons of people that this is what we used to say a long time ago, right? You got your 4K TV, but where are you going to get native 4K content from? Sony cameras, right? Because you just don't get a ton. This was before a lot of streaming content provided it. But if you think about people that are, with the advancements of our cameras, FX3s, Alpha 7 Mark 4s, Mark 3s, Alpha 7s, Mark 3s. I'm just trying to prove I know cameras. Anyway, but when you think about the amount of content that videographers are using and they're showcasing their stuff, when you plug that camera into the TV and play that content and it automatically goes into photo video mode in those settings, and that alpha camera is delivering a signal to a TV whose picture modes were created in collaboration with the alpha team, imagine how amazing that looks. There's a bigger conversation there, especially with the popularity of alpha.
Right. I agree.
We're going to start a petition to have it called alpha mode. Anyway,
There you go.
All right.
I like it.
Sorry for the rant.
No, all good. All right, we'll start to catch up on some of these as well. So we'll get to your question in a moment.
Keep kicking that can down the road.
Just a little bit. I know he's waiting, so I don't want to kick it too far, but just to quickly address some of the other ones. Yeah. Dan L added, thanks guys, I'm referring to using one larger center stand instead of the feet for the flagship TVs.
If it was just a flat base, like for example, A95K had the massive.
Yes, that was different.
Still in the box because TV's on the wall. But some of it is. Here's a couple of reasons why. All truthfulness. You ready? When you have the two individual separated feet, and you choose to add a sound bar to it, the sound bar is able to not rest on a center base, which means you don't have vibration or distortion in your audio. So because you have, like on our TVs now, you have the two legs, and then the sound bar has the 2 feet that keep it elevated above the legs, what you're doing is preserving the sound quality of the sound bar. If at any time the feet or the bar itself rests on that center plate, you
can introduce vibration.
You can introduce vibration and impact the overall sound. So I think that may be the design purpose.
Yeah, that could be a part of it too. I know, and it's been a while since I've really kind of seen this because every store mounts their TVs, but I know many of the it's been a while. Many TVs I've seen in the past that had the center pedestal, it's if you have a shaky house, they do a little bit of a wobble, too, and that can be a little bit of annoying on your picture, but that's just perception as well. But we're either way, we're gonna share the sentiment of having interest in that, and we'll see what the future brings. But fair question. All right, we'll tackle this one pretty quick too. Vedant asks, will the HDMI 2.2 actually be useful, or will it be overkill? What's your perspective? Very quickly, currently it's overkill. The future, and it's open for a lot of capabilities. High speed is ridiculous, and the capabilities are awesome, but unfortunately we just don't have content to do it. It's sort of like when 8K still is sort of in that basket where it's like, it's there, but there really isn't anything utilizing that capability. They've filled it with other things, but it'll have its time.
2.2 is really right now heavily focused on PC gaming, is the direction that it's heading. That's its purpose.
That changes a lot faster in terms of tech because you can just swap the parts out.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Oh, man, there's so many more questions. I don't want to postpone that Will's question very long.
The Audio Boy 2024, you want to knock that one out real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, can I place my BRAVIA Theater Quad rear speakers against the wall, or should there be a little gap between? It currently has a 5-centimeter gap from the wall.
So it has a wall mount.
Are you using the built-in wall mount with it?
That would be the question. It does. It does come with a wall mounting. It's you kind
of feet.
Yes,
bracket?
it's the feet,
Yeah.
but they mount
The feet turn into a wall
differently
bracket.
to it. It has an extra piece that you can
Yep.
connect. So they're designed for that. And the way that
proper space.
the actual speaker units are actually single-sided. So having it up against a wall, it is designed to be mounted, at least with the mounts that are provided. So
Good answer.
I'm sure there's specific spacing to make sure that it doesn't add distortion or have any negative impacts on that.
Shout out to having the quad. Congrats.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love that. What subwoofer do you have? Can you put that in the comments? I'm curious.
Okay. There
If
you go.
not, get one.
All right. So should we briefly kind of talk about Will's question?
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. All right. So the question was, what do you guys think about the new 2026 RGB TV? Well, it wasn't a TV that was announced. It was technology. 2026 RGB technology that we did recently talk about, which if you haven't looked it up, check it out. There's a lot of stuff out there that is pretty cool.
Yep.
And then I think, the tech in general and its potential. So it's kind of a broad question. We can address it briefly because I think we should own the fact that we're still trying to identify exactly what we can and cannot say. I'm just going to say that right now because it is upcoming technology and we don't talk about future technology.
This is
future
weird
products.
for us, right?
It is a
Yeah.
weird spot, and it was so recent
Yep.
as well. So I know I will say this. It's awesome. It's
I was
awesome.
hoping you'd give feedback.
Yeah. It is very cool, and the potential capabilities are very impressive.
Yep.
We will obviously talk more about it as time goes on, I'm sure, but that's where I'll hold for now. It definitely has a place. It has a place, for sure. Yeah, I don't know what I can really say.
Yo, I am so excited for whatever the future holds. I am telling you, I am. I don't know. Like, I'm so hype about the potential. I'm hype about everything right now. I'm just going to say it. I'm hype about 2025.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm hype about this new technology. I'm hype. I think okay. Because we have some enthusiasts in there that have been around Sony for a long time. I'm looking at you, Global South. Okay. I have not been this excited about future technology since my favorite TV of all time was released.
Which is?
The XBR 8. And interestingly enough,
I think that may have something in common with this.
that's what I'm getting ready to say.
I like
And
it.
interestingly enough, the XBR 8 was an RGB LED TV. First.
Yep.
Was the creation or the start of Triluminos, which is how it essentially got its name. Okay. That TV, and you guys, look, we've talked, like, I think on at least 6 or 7 episodes, we've been asked the question, what's your favorite product? And, like, for the first 3 of them, I'm like, XBR8. You know, every time, right? And I was like, okay, now I'm going to pick non-TV. But that's why I'm excited for it, because I know still right now to this day that XBR8 in its class of a 1080p TV could take down a lot of current TVs right now. It's that damn good.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I'm definitely downplaying. But I'll add this.
I'm not probably over.
I know.
I love new tech.
There's so much I want to say right now, but all I can say this is that
Spill it.
the inside of me is just like 2026, like to see the change that we will see.
If it happens.
Well, right, it's technology. Right. I don't know for sure.
We're hoping
2026 technology.
Yeah, we're hoping.
But yeah, it would be a
Bro.
that was so I did have a chance to see it briefly. So I can't talk too much about it. But I will say this. I really wanted to just grab the remote and be like, I want to see this. I want to go back and check this out. But yeah, it's definitely something to be excited about for sure. But to your point, you know, it is a ways away. And there's a lot to come in between. So
I just saw Robert's comment. I'm sorry.
There's a lot of comments
I know.
that I got to catch up on.
I know. Let me just say this to Robert real quick. Because Robert
Yeah.
said he filmed his son's wedding 4 years ago during COVID. He said he had 24 people in the backyard. He used the A7R native 4K mirrorless SLR. Displayed videos, still images on there. 77 A95L, world class. After watching the videos, his wife said that he belongs in Hollywood.
Okay.
First of all, your wife's amazing. Okay, and as are you. You should. We got to get Robert on the show. I'm just throwing it out there.
That'd be cool.
We'll talk.
We'll have to. Yeah.
We'll talk.
We'll talk about that.
That's
for
dope,
sure.
Robert. Shout out to that 77 A95L.
You'll have your people call his people.
There you go.
I'm just gonna bum rush the show 1 year.
All right, let me try to catch up on some of the things that we may have missed.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so Audio Boy, you added a little bit more here. So I have a side wall, and from that wall is 5 centimeter gap from the BRAVIA quad sides. From my back wall, it's roughly 30 to 40 centimeters away. You had something else on there.
I
It's on
got you. On
stands, not wall mounted. So
That's fine.
yeah, because they are designed to have that, and plus if there's a sidewall that's there too, just run the 360 spatial sound mapping, and you should be good. Yeah, you shouldn't have an issue.
Literally, they were designed for those unconventional sort of setups. That was a big part of the design purpose. So yeah, you're good.
Yep. Nice. All right, let's. I think we should start to wrap up as well.
No.
So
Oh, sure.
catch up on some of the questions because I know there's going to be a bunch more that come in. So, but we should.
Question, I think.
Yeah, where?
Right after Audio Boy. Is there a way to keep the TV center speaker mode on while keeping the voice tracking off on A95L and quads?
I don't know where this is. I lost that one.
Voice tracking. It's on screen.
Yeah, I can't read it. There's a camera in the way. Way to keep the speaker mode on. Voice tracking off.
I'm enjoying watching you dance.
I was doing too much to try to read around it that I didn't
again,
understand. Well, yeah. Well, you can answer it too.
No, you have an A95L. Those questions are yours.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What?
I got you. Badon says, is there a way to keep the TV center speaker mode on while keeping the voice tracking off on A95L and quads?
Voice tracking.
That's what I'm stuck on.
I'm not 100% sure what is meant by the voice tracking.
Are we talking acoustic surface audio plus, where you have object-based audio? Or what are we talking about? Location-based audio. Sorry.
Yeah. Could you kind of clarify that maybe, and see, and I'll see if I can come up with an answer. I'm not really sure offhand. I'm not sure.
All right. Kevin also has a question. Kevin says, do current TVs allow multi-Bluetooth headphones to connect at once? If not, what about future models?
That's a great question. So no.
Unless
The exception, this guy here, the Theater U, but it's different.
it is different.
Because when you pair the Theater U to it, it's one connection to the TV, but then you basically add a second one. It sort of relays from Theater U to a second Theater U, so two people can use it with no delay.
Yes.
I would love, personally, I would love to see that, and that is something that has come up often. Actually, just today we were supporting some of the support questions about how many devices can be connected simultaneously, and I think that is something that I would. I know I would love to see that in the future. Is it going to happen? I don't know, but I'll tell you what, it's going to be in the little feedback collection from this episode. I'll tell you that. So we'll see, but that would be cool to see. I personally would like to see that. All right. Let's see. Any plans to update the EOTF curve for Dolby Vision on the A95L?
It's been a long time since I've seen that question.
There has been some, I know there's been a couple of updates that have come out, and I don't know to what degree, because they don't specifically call out those specific types of fixes, because it's such a specific thing that the average person doesn't understand. So I don't know of anything coming on the way, but I obviously, as we've said in the past, that whenever there are concerns, they do look into it to see if it is something that they need to pursue doing some sort of fix or update for. Unfortunately, we don't have, or we're not privy to those conversations to know what's happening in the planning stages, so I don't have any information on that at this time. What did you see? You got excited?
It's kind of on with the Bluetooth question all the way at the bottom. Calio, I hope I'm not butchering your name. Auracast coming to TVs. So that's really what
I haven't heard Auracast in a while.
Yeah, that's really what people want.
Yeah,
that's really. We can ask that question because if our TVs are able to support BTLE in that form, then it could broadcast to compatible multiple BTLE audio devices. So
that'd be pretty cool.
We will. That's a great question to see where we are.
Yeah. Let's add it to the list.
See, because on the audio, I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent, but I won't. This won't be a long one because I know, like on the headphone side, I think it's like Bluetooth 5.3 or Bluetooth 5.4, whatever number it's on right now, is like automatically compatible with that. So it's very much in from the headphone side of it. It's very much there.
Yeah.
Let's see where it is.
That would be cool to see.
Side. Okay, cool. Sorry.
I just got to call this out. Big Phil mentioned, do we see a rebirth of the Trinitron name with the RGB mini LED tech?
Man, I can't wait till it's named.
Here's the thing. A certain JT is rolling right now because he mentioned like, oh, it'd be cool to bring back the name. And,
let's not even say what he said because that name is
I don't remember. Honestly, I can't remember what he said exactly.
I have it tattooed on my shoulder.
But yeah, he mentioned like, dude, what if we called it this? And I know I thought it was a great idea. So it was something in line with that. But that would be pretty cool to see. Yeah, it would. Honestly.
It would.
Very excited to see what that's going to turn into.
Okay.
Okay, what did we miss here? Got that one.
I'll answer Malcolm in the chat.
Okay, good. Let's see. Oh, that you already got that one. Got that one. Got that one. Good. The last two. Ooh, will BRAVIA Connect be added to older flagship TVs? I don't know. My guess, and I don't know. This I don't probably doesn't need a disclaimer. This is literally like I'm just
put it up there.
Honestly, I have no idea, but my guess is that there might be some form of hardware limitation because that wasn't their intentions at the time of creating the hardware in the case of these older flagship TVs. And that is one of the biggest challenges that when new ideas come up, especially that are software based, it's so much easier to you're almost limited. I don't know why I said so much easier. It doesn't even make sense. Scratch that from the record. But the software has the ability, it does make sense now in my head. Now as I'm playing through, I'm kind of an idiot. It's been a long day. You can make adjustments to it based on what it's trying to match into, but sometimes there is a hardware limitation where the hardware just doesn't. So that's my guess. So I think what we've seen is probably what we'll have, but we might be surprised. I honestly don't know.
Do we want to live in a world where there's only one app? Yes.
Yeah. That'd be great.
Kind of leads, and Ronan asked this question much earlier, and I meant to get to it, so I don't want to ignore it now. Why ES receivers are not supported by the BRAVIA Connect app? Receivers for a long time have supported Music Center has been the app for ES receivers, largely because the ES line was more for custom integrators and not necessarily consumer. We used to talk about ES receivers as the receivers that go in a rack, not on the shelf or the furniture. There's so much going on right now. I'm trying to drag this out as long as I can because this camera's going to be on me for a minute. But we'll see. We'll definitely see what the future is with that sort of integration. I do see how we're really trying to.
It's working that way.
Yeah, heading that direction. So we'll see.
Just to kind of bring this back to Vedant added voice tracking as in voice following the object. So like you mentioned, I don't know actually. That's something I would have to.
It should still work in center sync.
Well, I think let me think back to what the question was. I think it was to use acoustic center sync but turn off the voice tracking.
Oh, to turn it off.
Right. Because I don't think that's an option
It's not.
in it.
It's not. It's one of those things that the engineering was designed to keep the sound coming from the location.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Is there a benefit? I'm curious.
I'm trying to think of like
Yeah,
because I'm not experienced, like I that's not in my current setup because of what I have. I'm not using it that way. But the only thing I could think of, and not hearing it, I don't know. But you have. Oh wait, did he say what audio? Oh, he has
Quads.
quad.
Which is why it makes sense that he's using acoustic center sync.
Right. Maybe it's doing something with his perception of the imaging of the audio.
Could be.
I don't know. I would really like to hear that to see what that would be like.
We'll ask.
I'll ask. Yeah, we'll find out.
Well, that's the question.
That's a good question.
Yep.
I don't have an answer, but that I kind of want to know.
Yep.
Because I got one for man. Don's got the questions today.
I'm ready for that one.
Man, I figured you would
ready
be.
for that one.
I figured you would be. All right. Also, what's the difference between Triluminos Pro and Max?
Boom. Okay. Nothing. No kidding.
There is a difference.
Yeah, there is a difference. Triluminos Max is the designation of our color technology designed for the QD OLEDs. So A95K, A95L had Triluminos Max. Triluminos Pro is BRAVIA 8, BRAVIA 9, BRAVIA. You see me real careful. BRAVIA 7 are Max.
Not Max.
Pro. Sorry, or Pro.
Yeah.
So yes. What's X90L? Is it just Triluminos?
No.
It's XR Triluminos
Is it
Pro, right?
90L?
I think it's Pro. Oh my gosh.
How quickly we forget. God, we're terrible. I'm waiting on you to tell me that it doesn't have Pro.
It's Pro.
It's Pro?
There you go. Okay.
And there you have it. It's basically our internal designation of how much color can be produced or how much color is being produced given the panel technology.
Yeah. Yeah, because it is done differently because you have an LCD layer versus in the case of QD OLED, you actually have transmissive layers and not a color filter, and it's different even from WLED.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And it's the same thing with our XR contrast booster numbers. People hate our technology. I mean, the names.
The names can be a lot.
It's kind of they differ based on panel.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Cool.
It's
So let's start to wrap up. If there's any other questions, let us know. If we did miss your question or did not answer it to the best of Larry's ability, make sure you send us an email and follow up, or send a comment after the live is over as well. I know there's
that just made my day.
I know there's that last one. We'll get to that.
Goodness, that just made my day.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, man.
And
Flip
again,
that, John. Sorry.
yeah. So if there's not any more questions, we're gonna close out right here. But thank you so much for joining us.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to Jeff.
Just shout out
to Jeff.
JustFrazier real quick.
That's what we're getting ready to do.
We're getting there. It's a big thing. And you already put it.
My bad.
Well, thanks, John. It's all yay.
So
I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, this is awesome. So yeah, JustFrazier, FYI, the comment about directors wanting the BRAVIA 9 and in their video village sold me. I just ordered the 75 for delivery the 20th. Congratulations,
bro.
But yeah,
Trust me.
That comment, I was there when that comment was made. And from that director, I wish we could say the names. I wish we could share.
If we could say the names.
The movie in reference, because this director and the director of photography were there
together.
And after seeing it, they're like, I think we need to reshoot some of this.
Yes.
Because it was like their own film because of the capabilities of what the BRAVIA 9 could do. Ah, man, I wish we could share that
I'm
stuff.
not nervous in a lot of rooms with certain people. I don't, but I was a little intimidated. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I just saw him from 50 feet away. So.
I think that's so dope. Without us even mentioning the names, but they are a big deal. They're a massively big deal.
So let's address this really quick though too. Big Phil asked, so which one is better, Max or Pro?
So debatable.
That is very So
it's debatable.
It kind of almost because it's kind of based on you could dumb it down, I guess, to LED versus OLED capability in many ways. You go ahead before you hurt yourself.
Yeah, I know. If you just look at the color tech, if you strip away everything else and you just look at the reproduction of color, I think we can't. I think I'm okay saying that it's Max over Pro, but that's such a small part of the overall viewing experience. Because when you look at the impact of the BRAVIA 9 with XR Triluminos Pro and its brightness performance and backlight control and contrast delivery and all those things, now there's other elements that factor in. So if you're scoring, maybe color is a checkbox on whatever, but if brightness, it may be, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you just look at color, I think we've named them Max and Pro for a reason. So Max's color technology or color delivery may be better, but that doesn't tell you, that doesn't necessarily mean the picture quality is better.
Yeah, because thinking about the tech as I'm thinking about it now, the advantage that you have. I mean, I'm going to kind of connect some dots here.
Okay.
Let's think about it this way.
Are they quantum dots you're connecting?
It could, right? So you think about
that wasn't good. That was a good one.
When you think about QD OLED, how it's kind of created, you have your red, green, and blue.
Yes.
And blue is a transmissive layer.
Yes.
That allows the green and the red to pass through.
Yes.
Virtually unfiltered.
Right.
So essentially, it's sort of like the concept of what RGB is, right?
Right.
From its concept, and that's where, like with 2026 technology, RGB, that's sort of the next evolution from what we see that kind of addresses that color issue of current LED TVs. So you could easily argue that from a color space standpoint that Max technically is better.
Yeah.
But there is, to your point, where it's subjective, is some people perceive just the overall brightness of an LED to be more impressive.
Do you know what it'd be? Here's the big question. You, first of all, perfectly said. Here's the interesting question.
Yeah.
Here's the interesting question. Let's just say one day this future technology comes out and it ends up in a TV. Let's just say that happens. Will they be Triluminos Max?
I think it'll be called something else.
Probably.
But because of the way that it's created, because it'll have its benefits.
Yes.
Because it's different. Oh, there's so many things I want to.
I know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
On that note, see ya. No, just we'll address a couple of these last questions.
Yep.
What?
Can we use Pro Max, or is that copyright protected?
Probably. Moving on.
Color bar.
Moving on. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, JustFrazier's right. Yeah, there's no 12-bit panels, at least that I'm aware of. So yeah, we're still working on 10, which is still pretty awesome. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of color processing that is done well beyond what the consumer tech is able to deliver.
Absolutely.
Because it's easier to shoot for that and clip it out versus not have it match enough and try to add it artificially. Let's see. But again, why don't the quads have the min to max adjustment for voice zoom? Is that just, why is it just on and off?
Voice zoom is, so that's voice mode on off on the quads. Voice zoom is controlled by the television,
TV, right?
Which sends the signal to the quads.
Yes.
So we should do better with naming. But anyway,
I agree.
Voice zoom and voice mode, two different technologies. Voice mode on the quad is basically enhance voices or leave it standard. When you have it with a compatible Sony TV that supports Voice Zoom 3, it's different. Then you get the min to max or max to min or however you want to look at it. Adjustability level. So
yeah, good call. Good call.
But you also need to do acoustic center sync?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Last question here. Do we know yet if new Eclipse surround sound format will be supported by Google TV? I have no idea. That is up to somebody else. And Malcolm says that you look great on the 930C.
Okay. Thank you. We try.
Big Bills, it's always entertaining to watch you guys walk the tightrope. What you can say compared to what you want to say. Always a good show. Well, I appreciate that.
Thanks,
yes, it is an interesting thing because, man, we do love to talk about this stuff, but, you know, two things. We want to keep our jobs, but I don't know what the second one was.
All right, here's what we're going to do this week. All right. I don't know if you guys are active on our community tab on our Sony Connect channel.
Oh, where's this going?
But here's what I'm going to do. John, this is not disclaimer. This is probably Larry putting in his 2-week notice. Here we go. Yeah. At some point next week, some point next week, we're going to put an image.
Oh, we're gonna
upload an image on the community channel, and it's like a game of Where's Waldo, but different. In this image of mess and junk and chaos, somewhere there might be an unannounced product.
Like
your job, yeah. You almost had me. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to find and identify what the object is. We'll have specific instructions in the community post, right? But you are to identify where it is in the picture and what it is. And I'm curious to see who can find the unannounced product. It's going to be
I'm going
to
add this in for all the Sony people watching. No one will win. It will be there, but no one will.
Hey, Sony people, why don't you try to play? I don't even think you're going to win.
No.
You won't.
Because again,
So
we don't want to get fired.
But I really want to see. I want you guys to,
fun.
light up the comments, find it. Anything, it could be silly. Not telling you what category, it could be anything. It could be a category you guys don't even know we support.
What?
Dude, it could be over-the-counter hearing aids. Like, you have no clue what it is, okay? So, it could be IBO, right? But just, seriously, this is going to be fun. We'll see who guesses.
Hold on, Big Phil said what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I love it.
I was just trying to have an intimate moment with you guys.
There you go.
All right.
Awesome. All right, we're going to get out of here.
Yep.
Man, we have been in this room for how many hours?
12? 13? It's been a lot. We've been here in a while.
And we'll be back tomorrow early. So,
On.
next question. Vedant, the answer is on.
Soundfield on.
Yes.
Without Soundfield on, you're not getting 360 spatial sound mapping. So on.
There we go. All right. Thank you all for being here and joining us. We do appreciate it. We do have fun to do this. And hopefully you'll join us next time. Again, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Be good to each other. Take care of yourselves. And be well. I think, Larry, unless you want to, you can address this question.
Oh, can I?
Yeah.
So, Vedant, try it again, but rerun. Go through the system settings and the speaker configuration, Soundfield optimization, 360 system. Try it again. I test it all the time. I listen to my quads every day for about 9 hours a day. And I don't have any issues with either Atmos or any of the other. Try it. And if you're still having issues, let us know the content you're testing it on, all of that information, and send us an email.
Yep. And we'll try to be ready for you. Next one.
I just noticed I'm right there. A reflection right there. I've been there
Oh, look at that.
the whole time. This is what happens when I wear white shirts.
It looks good though. The contrast looks great.
Going back to wearing black. It's slimming.
Y'all take care. We'll see you.
Hey, be well, be good to each other. Take care. See you. Peace.
Take care.